So you've decided to take a walk on the wild side and dabble in the greatest Elder Scrolls game ever because Daddy Todd still hasn't released the Elder Scrolls 6 and potentially even threatens to re-release Skyrim if given another chance to. But you don't know what you're doing and you can't even kill a scrib or a mud crab. Well, worry not, as I hope to sort things out for newcomers. Hey goblins, it's Super Nelly S, and today I'm covering my absolute favorite game that was, is, and may ever be, because I fear for what the Elder Scrolls 6 will be, and how to get into this gem from a bygone era. I was 13 when it came out, and I got to experience the glory that is the Elder Scrolls III Morrowind firsthand on the original Xbox, and have been playing it ever since. I have been seeing a lot of people getting into this game because of the lesser known sequels, Skyrim and Oblivion, but because of some more aged mechanics, they find themselves struggling, and I wanted to guide the younglings like an elder goblin should in the ways in order to make the most of their characters and give them a more enjoyable experience. So for today's video, we'll cover a number of tips and tricks that I think one should have at their disposal when playing Morrowind. First things first is character creation. In Morrowind, character creation is broken into multiple little sections. First, stock the jib, give yourself an appropriate name. Sure, you can change it later, but why would you? Then get off the ship as fast as possible. I always can tell if a playthrough will be good if I can beat the guard guiding me off the ship. Once through the door, you'll be in the port of the beautiful and humid Seyda. Here you'll talk to another guard and be given the choice of your race. Not much to say here, it's pretty explanatory. Each race comes with some skill bonuses, which may inevitably impact your playstyle choice, or not. Who's to stop you from playing a Nord Wizard or a High Elf Paladin? One thing the game doesn't explain here is that depending on your gender, there will be slight differences in your attribute scores. Take Nords for example. Male Nords have 50 endurance versus a female's 40, and a female has 50 willpower compared to a male's 40. These aren't massive differences, but depending on your build, these subtle changes can impact how much leveling you need to do to maximize your stats, as well as your effectiveness in the early stages of your character. Another quick tip to keep in mind is that in Morrowind, the beast races, that's your Argonians and Khajiits, are not able to wear boots or closed-faced helms. So keep this in mind as it can prevent you from using certain items and artifacts or just equipping a full set of armor. Lastly, races are faster than others, at least in an unmodded or edited version. This is just a weird feature within the game code, but shorter races actually have a slower movement speed, so if you want to go fast and you're playing this game unmodded, which everyone should try at least once, pick a tall race like an orc or an unsightly high elf to have them long stems to stride about. So the next step in the character creation process is talking to my favorite NPC, Sakocious Urgola.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Here we get to make our character class. There are multiple ways we can do this, and the choice is yours. But it's recommended that you make your own. Mainly because you can get rid of some of the redundancies in the pre-built classes the game has. But if you want a little randomness, maybe take the quiz and stick to the results Urgola gives you. But for this video, we are making our own class, so class creation has a couple of options that we will cover. First, there's your specialization. This confers a +5 skill point bonus to all skills that fall in the category, and those skills level up faster, only requiring 80% of the level up experience. Next up is favorite attributes. Get to pick 2. Picking them gives you a flat 10-point bonus in those attributes, which again make it easier to max out certain attributes earlier. Depending on your build, you may want to choose agility to ensure you hit your enemies more frequently, or willpower to have better odds of casting spells, or intelligence to increase your overall magic pool. But keep in mind this is also the only chance you can get a free 10 levels worth of luck attributes. Luck does impact everything you do in this game, even just a little bit, but has no skills associated with it to provide bonus points upon leveling up. It's a common theme to usually pick endurance as one of your favorite skills, as having a high endurance is the only way you get more hit points as you level, and with the right build you can easily end up with a near max endurance at level 1. Now the difficult part of character creation is picking your skills. You can pick 5 major and 5 minor skills. Any not selected will be classified as miscellaneous. Miscellaneous skills do not get any bonuses, but may have some racial bonuses depending on your build, so don't be surprised when you accidentally have a miscellaneous spear skill of 15 because you wanted to be a scaly Argonian combat-focused spellblade. With major skills, you'll get a +25 to the skill, and with minor skills, you get a +10. Also, these skills will be the only skills that contribute to your level up experience, so 10 skill ups from these categories equals 1 level. but miscellaneous skills will contribute to attribute bonuses. So it's wise to level up your miscellaneous skills as well so you can get that 5-time bonus to endurance or strength whenever you level up. A general rule of thumb is if you plan on using the skill and you want to be good at it from the get-go, make it a major skill or a minor skill, and if you're okay struggling with it or don't plan on using it, let it be a miscellaneous skill. Last up, once you've made your class Secocious, we'll ask about our zodiac sign. I'm a Libra sun for those interested. Now in Morrowind, your zodiac sign actually matters, as some are better than others. The Atronach, for instance, significantly increases your magicka pool and grants you a permanent absorb magicka buff, at the cost of not being able to naturally regenerate magicka through sleeping. And the Tower sign grants you an ability to open locked containers and doors, or a spell that lets you find keys, creatures, and enchanted objects nearby. But the community is in agreement, the Lord sign is the best sign in the game. I'm kidding, it's trash, never even look at it. It's still not even good in Skyrim. Arguably the best signs to pick from a pure starter perspective would be signs that give attribute bonuses, like the Steed or the Lady, as these both give significant bonuses to attributes. Plus 25 to speed, or plus 25 to endurance and personality, respectively. Again, do what you want, but since this is my video, I will go with the Lady, as this gives us a nice boost to our starting endurance. So there you have it. You've now made your first character. Give Secocious a little kiss on the cheek and pick up your identification papers. But before you leave the room, let's grab that limeware platter off the bookshelf. But wait, Snell, that's still on, and there's a guard in the room. Aren't we going to get in trouble? Well, yes and no, dear viewer. You see, until you actually complete the tutorial, crime does not exist in Morrowind yet, at least for you. You can steal whatever you want, and you won't be reprimanded. Don't do this in real life. That being said, you will want to be quick and drop the item before the guard catches you, as they'll confiscate anything that you have in your person that was stolen. There are a few things you can steal in this room, but the limeware platter is the only thing that matters from a value standpoint. Make your way through the following rooms until you enter a little courtyard and grab the engraved ring from the barrel and speak to Cel Scravius. Now, before you talk to him, you can drop any items you may have stolen and attempt to steal the key that's on the shelf near him. Be quick about it, as he will confiscate any stolen goods if he catches you, so this may take some skill on your part, or finagling Celis away from the key by stealing other objects around the room and getting him to chase you like Benny Hill until you can comfortably grab the key and drop it. After the little shenanigans, give him your information and he'll send you out into the world to start your quest. Now you've made a character and you want to go on adventures, but there's still so much to learn and so little time to cover it, but I'm going to do my best. Let's talk about combat. The biggest issue for a lot of newcomers after making a character is hitting an enemy in combat. Now magic is pretty straightforward. As long as you can cast a spell and it hits, you'll do damage, or some effect, less any natural or unnatural resistance that the enemy has. For example, shooting a fireball for 10 damage at a Dunmer bandit, you will hit and do damage, but because they naturally have a 75% resistance to fire, it'll only do effectively 2 to 3 damage rounded. That's the short of how magic works. Your chances of effectively casting a spell are based on your current fatigue, also known as stamina in Morrowind 3 Skyrim, so you'll want to make sure you have a decent fatigue level before casting. That being said, it's easier to maintain fatigue levels as a caster as you aren't wasting fatigue swinging a weapon. You'll also want to ensure you have a decent willpower, as willpower directly impacts your chances of casting a spell. Fortifying it high enough can even offset having no fatigue. Non-magical combat, on the other hand, is a little more tricky, as combat is a dice roll in Morrowind. It may look like it's hitbox or physical based, but every swing or arrow shot is a dice roll on whether you hit or not, and this is determined by a few things. First is your weapon skill, then your agility and luck, then modified by your current fatigue. Again, the long and short of it is your ability to hit is based on your skills, attributes, and how exhausted you are. So if going into combat, you will want to make sure your fatigue is topped up. So keeping restore fatigue enchant, potion, spell, or scroll is wise, even if you aren't a caster. Makes sense why the Fighters Guild gives them away for free. The other thing to keep in mind is, are you even using the right weapon, bro? Like, you made a cool character and you've picked up a really cool shiny weapon, so why aren't you hitting the friggin' mud crab that's attacking you? Well, like I said before, your skill is important, so even if the weapon is cool, and we all know cool equals powerful, doesn't mean you can be effective with it. You are a Khajiit Nightblade, trying to swing a battle axe. You are built for short blades, not axes. Try a dagger, and I'm certain you'll be killing rats for the Fighters Guild in no time. So we've solved the problems of making bad characters and not being able to hit anything in combat. What's left to cover? How about making the game more enjoyable with small quality of life improvements? I don't care if you're a Nord warrior or Khajiit thief, you'll want to have some form of instant transportation. Fast travel does not exist in this game. Well, outside of the Silt Striders, the Mages Guild, and the Propylon indexes, but like instant fast travel like Oblivion and Skyrim doesn't exist, which is great. You get to enjoy the scenic beauty that is the island of Vardenfell. But if you want to get around faster, you'll want to have some divine and Alms of E intervention, even if you don't want to be a spellcaster. You can usually get these as scrolls found in guild chests, but also sold at the appropriate vendors at a temple or imperial fort, and super useful. Or if you're super lucky, you can find some amulets of divine and Alms of E intervention, the same for the mark and recall spells. Unlike divine or Alms of E intervention, mark and recall is specific, and you have to use them in tandem. Recall will not work without a mark spell already cast. The spells themselves are self-explanatory. Mark lets you pick a spot anywhere in the world outside of a few spots within the main storylines, and recall teleports you there instantly. I tend to pick a useful spot like the Creeper or Talking Mudcrab Merchants, or perhaps the home you built through one of the great houses. That way you can return to these spots quickly and get the most effectiveness out of them. A quick note about how Divine and Alms of E intervention works is that they will teleport you to the nearest Imperial cult, shrine, or tribunal temple. However, there are very specific spots it'll take you, and it's based on where you are in the map. As you can see, there is some overlap between the regions, but Divine Intervention has a few more locations that it'll take you to, so just be aware of your location when casting, or else you may find yourself at a temple or shrine you weren't expecting. And now you're set. Be gay, do crime, or whatever it is you have planned for your adventures in Vardenfell. If there's anything you think I missed, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. This far. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Morrowind content. I've got things in the works. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.